Welcome to the Ever After cast, brought to you by Ever After Holidays. We're your hosts, Mattie.
And I'm Laura.
Here to share magical adventures and unforgettable memories from Disney, Universal and beyond, together with our special guests.
Please note, all views and stories shared are personal to ourselves and our guests and may not reflect current park or destination operations.
So sit back, relax and let's begin today's adventure. Hey Laura, another week.
Hello, we're back.
A new episode?
Yes.
Episode 2.
Excited.
Did you enjoy last
Yes,
week?
yeah, loved it. I felt a bit like it was all about me, so I'm excited to...
It was all about you, so this week, for all of you listeners out there, this week is all about me.
Yes.
So I'm going to let Laura take the lead on this one. I'm in the hot seat. She's going to be asking me all the questions, hopefully not too difficult to answer, and I'll try not to ramble on.
Oh, you'll be absolutely fine. Yes, so I've got the questions. I am the professional today. Okay, so we'll start with an introduction to yourself, if people haven't met you yet. And can you introduce yourself? Tell us about your love for Disney and Universal.
Yes, so I am Mattie. I am the founder and owner-director of Ever After Holidays, which is a tour operator which specialises in Disney destinations around the world and Universal parks and things as well. I won't go too much into that. I could do a full episode on my journey, which we might do one day if anybody wants that, then just let us know.
It's interesting.
But if you want to know my journey, I'm quite happy to do an episode on that. But my love of Disney and Universal parks began when I went to the opening of Disneyland Paris. Well, not the actual opening. I went in opening month of Disneyland Paris back in April 1992. That was my first experience of a Disney park, and I think I was 7. So I'm showing my age if anybody's interested.
I love how we both went the same year. Like 92 was like our kind of start 92, of 92 was the year.
The start of the Disney love. But yeah, we went I went with my mum, my sister, my auntie and my cousin. And I have so many memories from that trip. Because I was at an age where obviously you can remember a little bit more. But after that, was when we carried on that tradition. After that, that was it. After that, all of us, even my dad, my mum and dad are together. He loves Disney and Universal as well, and it all started from 1992 going to Disneyland Paris, and it just carried on from there, to be honest with you.
Fabulous. And I know you're saying they're not going to go into the journey of like building up Ever After Holidays yet. We'll probably do like a little bit of an extra episode on that. But can you share a little bit about the journey and how Ever After Holidays came to be?
Yeah, so I have been working in the travel industry, come next year, 24 years.
Oh my God.
So it's a long time. Next year it'll be 24 years. I have always loved travel. Obviously, I've always loved Disney. I've worked in various parts of the industry. I've worked in overseas at airports. I've been a resort rep. I've worked for a huge tour operator before. I've worked for independent travel agents, and I've learnt so much working for all these different companies that I got to a point where I was like, right, I'm getting agitated, I'm doing so much within this other company, there's more for me out there, I feel like I'm restrained, I need to just explode with all this Disney magic and create something special, because ultimately the last place I was working was in a store, and I was doing the social media management, I was organising events, looking after the website, I was managing a store. There was all these different elements to the role that I was doing, but ultimately what I enjoyed more than anything was speaking to customers and people about Disney and Universal destinations. So it got to a point one day where I thought, you know what, that's it, I'm just going to do it myself, let's just take a risk. And I took that risk, and everything that I'd learned from previous jobs, the good things, I wanted to bring into Ever After Holidays, and I was adamant that some of the not so good things I would never let happen within Ever After Holidays. And it's kind of grown, and at the core of it all, it's about customer service, customer experience, and making sure that we are completely transparent with customers and what it is that they're getting with us. Because at the end of the day, anybody can sell and book holidays to Disney destinations. And it was important to me that we differentiated ourselves in the sense that we prove, not just by social media, but by creating these profiles of ourselves, that we are lovers of these products, we do these products, and obviously half of the team have worked at Disney as well, including yourself, which we spoke about in the last episode. So that's ultimately...
And we're all passionate about the product, really passionate.
Real passionate about it. You could cut me in half and it would just run through me. And I'm really, really lucky, and I know I'm really lucky that I get to do something every day that I love. And, you know, my grandma used to say, if you have a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I'm blessed to say that that's how I feel about Ever After Holidays. Really nice, happy place to work, and I hope the rest of the team,
it's so much
I'm
fun.
sure they do, feel exactly the same way. But cut a long story short, that is my journey. I've got lots of experience in the travel industry. A lot of people might not think it when they meet me, and you know, some people question. But that's in short. And I think it'd be important maybe in the future to do an episode. So if anyone's interested, just
your
let us
knowledge
know.
is above and beyond of just generally the travel industry, and you've been through so much as well. So when I joined the team, I knew I was in as a kind of newbie to travel work, I knew you had literally a pool of knowledge of everything, and I could come to you, but it changes every day, and you pick up.
And that's what I love about the travel industry. You know, it's not like a job where you go to work, you know what you need to do when you get into work, and you know what you need to do at certain times of the day, and then you'll even go home. With working in travel, every day is different. Like, I always have a to-do list on my desk. I can guarantee you, most mornings I come to work, I don't even get to look at my to-do list until later on in the afternoon, because something else will happen. But then there's obviously most of it is good working in travel, but then there's the bad as well. You know, COVID, Thomas Cook going bust, airlines going bust. But I think the travel industry makes you a really strong, resilient person as well, because you have to learn how
You've built up from those things, all the things you went through.
You learn from these experiences.
You're prepared.
Although they're bad, you learn from them, and you can make sure that if something was to happen in the future, you know, you've got a plan of action in place. Hurricane management is one of those things when you specialise in Disney destinations that you need to know what to do as soon as, you know, one of those hurricanes is touch wood, hopefully never approaching, but unfortunately in Florida it does happen. But cut long story short, that is
it's very interesting though. So I definitely think it would be a good episode to kind of delve into more of the travel and things like that, travel industry and things like that. Definitely.
If anybody wants that, just obviously get in touch, and we can maybe sort that out.
Okay, so we're going on to first Disney experiences. So what was your first Disney park or resort trip, and what stands out most in your memory? So you kind of said Paris, but do you have a specific memory from that?
Yes, I do. So obviously I've already said my first Disney trip ever was 1992 in April to Disneyland Paris with my mum, my sister, my auntie and my cousin. And one memory, well, I've got loads of memories from it. One particular memory that I have is, you know, in Disneyland Paris, behind Main Street where they've got the arcades. I'll never forget once we were having some lunch down one of the arcades, because I remember way back in the day there was far more table and chairs down there to sit on and eat lunch and things like that, from the Casey's Corner and excuse me. And I'll never forget, we were sat down the arcade, and I know exactly which one it was. It was the left-hand side arcade as you're looking toward the castle, towards the back, and there was a trumpet band playing. And I'll never forget, they were actually in the arcade, and I'll never forget, me, my sister and my cousin were just dancing around like lunatics in front of this trumpet band, like absolute idiots. And another thing with that as well, with that trip, I know now the parks are really big with Disney pins and you know, things like that. Really, the pins is probably the biggest thing to change, because when I was first went to Disneyland Paris, I remember instead of there being lots of like pins to choose from on the stands or pens and
key rings and things like that. Yeah,
they did have key rings, I remember, because I can actually remember some of the key rings that we had. There was one, like, it was a bright yellow colour Euro Disney, and I remember we had a Little Mermaid one. I can actually remember how it felt. That's so weird.
Core memories.
I remember there was no pins. I don't remember ever seeing any pins, but I remember they had like figurines of characters that you could buy. Do you know, like little plastic models of characters from different movies? And obviously The Little Mermaid's my favourite Disney film. That just changed my life when it came out when I was 4 years old. But I remember having the Sebastian, Ursula, Flounder, Ariel, all these little figurines, and I used to nag my mum for them, and she used to get me them. And I remember that was a big thing for me in Disneyland Paris. That's a big core memory as well. Oh, and the bright yellow ponchos.
Yes, yeah.
The bright
retro
yellow ponchos.
Yeah,
that said
you're a Disney
on the back.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, I liked wearing mine because I thought it was like wearing a dress.
Belle, you were Belle for the day.
Me and my cousin would love it because we felt like we had a dress on and we was like the fairy godmother or something dancing round in them. So camp, but it's true. That's what we all like. That's what we like running around in Disneyland.
Well, those little memories. It's just the freedom, isn't it? And you just have a lot. Like, even today, though, as an adult, you can be that like child, like stress-free kind of child, and just like the freedom in the parks. That's what's really special. And sometimes it's not the rides and the characters, it's little things like that and the moments.
Something else as well that's just sprung to mind, that's a memory from that trip, is, do you know at the back of the park where they've got Toad Hall, and it's a restaurant, quick service restaurant, they used to do in Disneyland Paris, whenever you got a quick service meal, they used to do like multicoloured plastic cutlery, and it had characters on the end, so there'd be like a red one, a yellow one, a green one, a blue one, and we used to keep that cutlery, and we did bring it home with us. They stopped doing that years ago, but I remember that cutlery. I remember that cutlery, and I remember my mum saying to me, for her and my auntie as well, they'd never been to a Disney park before, and even for them, they found it overwhelming because obviously they were mature adults and taking their children, and for them they found it really overwhelming because my mum said that when she was younger, all she ever heard of Disney was like Disneyland in California.
It was never even a thought to go.
Never even thought that it would we'd ever be able to go. So even for my mum and my auntie, it was I think life changing really for them as well.
Yeah, and we get customers like that who say, you know, oh, where do we even start? Or like, it's a really, you know, it's my first time with my child, or, you know, but I know it's going to be, I was like, honestly, you're going to make the best memories. Like, it will feel overwhelming, but you will sometimes, when you, even like sometimes with my sister, when she comes home, she then reflects and goes, oh my gosh, like that was the best. Sometimes it's like that, but you just got to, just the little things.
And one memory then makes me think of something else. Like, I'll never forget seeing the parade for the first time, and at Disneyland Paris, and the floats were humongous, and I'll never forget the aerial float had a boat with Ariel and Eric in it. And I remember, like, I don't know why, because I was only 7, but I remember like my mum and my auntie Lynn would be like, oh look, it's Ariel, and I'd be like blushing. But yeah,
she was your like idol. Well, Ariel, she still is, isn't she?
My favourite character. Ariel is definitely my favourite, but that's probably.
So, I mean, did you think that little boy back then in '92 that Disney would become part of your career and your job? Did you like know then, or did you always strive to get to there?
For me personally, I never, like, I'm 40 now, and even when I was a teenager and I was coming towards leaving college and things, there wasn't as much awareness about like the Disney College program and things like that. I think if I had known about that, I would probably have gone into that and probably gone to work for Disney and probably stayed there forever, but I didn't know anything about it. The internet was quite new when I was a teenager, and
I only knew about it from asking cast members there.
Really?
Yeah, and so when I did my, sorry to like change it, but when I did it, it was I always wanted to do it from 12 years old, asking the cast members in Epcot. Whereas like my friends who went, they literally just Googled interesting jobs, and they got an Epcot came up.
I don't even think they were Google when I was like,
at
college and whatever. There was Ash Jeeves, I think there was, stuff like that. But I was quite shy,
showing our
actually.
age.
I was quite a shy child. I was never the one that wanted to go to the front. If there was like, you know, like audience participation, it was always my sister. It was never me, and she was a bit like my crash test dummy, to be honest, because if there was an attraction that I was frightened of, I'd make her go on it first, so test it out on her, and if she was all right, then
it sounds just
me.
like me. Yeah, it sounds exactly like my situation. My sister was the younger sister, would do anything, like not bothered. I was always shy. It was saying, look at us now.
I know, whereas I'm the first to go and everything, I'm the first to get up on the stage. But I think that Disney was always there. They was always going to do something like related to that kind of IP, you know, because even when I was a little boy, if anybody asked me what I wanted to be when I was older, I'd say Miss Piggy. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but before The Little Mermaid came round, I was obsessed with like the Muppets and Miss Piggy. And I don't think I meant I wanted to physically be Miss Piggy.
You wanted to help out on
I wanted to work for the Muppets.
The Jim Henson Company kind of thing.
I think that's what I meant. Right. I was so young because that was before I turned 4.
Wow.
So once I turned 4, when The Little Mermaid came out, it was that year that Little Mermaid came out. That's what was the game changer for me. And just fell in love with the character and everything in the movie and
the industry. I feel like we wouldn't have, if that film wasn't done well,
we wouldn't.
I don't think we'd be where we are now with Disney.
Disney wouldn't be like it is now if it wasn't for Little Mermaid.
Same as Snow White back in the day. That saved the company. Little Mermaid. I always believe that. I feel like if that hadn't been successful, we wouldn't have. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast,
The Little Mermaid's really important to me, and obviously.
Let's do a Little Mermaid episode.
Yeah, we should do. Yeah. Do you think Jodie Benson will come on?
Could ask her. Special guest.
Yeah, so that's probably. I do think that I would always have done it in some way, but for me, it was right. I won't be doing it, but I can't. I don't want to think along the lines of. I wish I'd have done this, because if I'd have done things differently, I won't be doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so still sticking with like the favourite Disney memory. So of all the magical moments you've had in the parks, is there one that's especially close to your heart on a different trip maybe? Yeah,
so like there's so many different memories, and there's too many for like literally one episode. But I think one that is really special to me, and it's not necessarily like based on an attraction or anything, but it's when we went to Florida in 1996, and I was with my dad and with my stepmom at the time, but I still call her my stepmom now, she's still in my life, and she's probably listening now, so hi Sue. And we were in, my sister was with me obviously, and we were in Hollywood Studios, which was MGM Studios at the time. And I remember we'd just come towards the end of a 2-week holiday, and about halfway through the holiday, they had this stand in MGM Studios, like Sunset Boulevard, where Tower of Terror is. Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard?
Sunset Boulevard, that one is, yeah.
Where Tower of Terror is. On the corner, before you turn, there was this stand selling like toys and teddies and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, they had these like 4-foot tall Mickey and Minnie teddies and Genie as well, because Aladdin had just come out.
Yeah.
And Aladdin had been out a few years in 99. It was Toy Story at the time. I remember they had a Toy Story parade in MGM Studios then. But they had a Genie one for whatever reason. And I remember, and also I was a big fan of Aladdin. I'd bought this Iago puppet, and it was a lot of money because we saved some spending money to take from like family and things. And I bought this Iago puppet on the first day, which I absolutely love. I've still got it in my
I need to see this.
It's absolutely brilliant, honestly. But then halfway through the holiday, we saw this stand, and they had these like 4-foot tall Mickey, Minnie, and Genie teddies, but they were like Muppets. So they had sticks on their arms, and you could put your arm up and you could puppeteer them like puppets, like move the mouths and move the arms.
You've always wanted to be a puppeteer. I think that's what it is.
I just loved entertaining, like with puppets and things. I used to make my own puppets out of paper and stuff when I was a kid and everything.
Do shows and stuff.
Yeah, and so anyway, they had these. Anyway, my sister loved the mini one. She'd not spent any of her money at this point. I'd wasted all mine in the first 2 days.
Doesn't surprise me.
There's no change.
No change.
And she bought the mini one, but I think she saw it more of like a baby doll. Because I'll tell you why in a minute, because the way she used to treat it, but I was so jealous because I'd not seen them, and it's like a puppet, and I just wanted one because it's like I said, I wanted to be Miss Piggy. I didn't want to be Miss Piggy. I wanted to be a puppeteer of Miss Piggy. So my sister had got this Minnie Mouse, and it was like a puppet. It practically became mine for the last week of the holiday. So like we would be in the car. I remember. We had this white car, I can't remember what it was, and I remember that when we were driving down I-4, I'd take it off my sister, this Mini, start puppeteering it out the window to other drivers going past, like making it wave and laugh at everything. And so I'd spent all my money anyway. I remember on the last day we were in MGM Studios and we walked past it, and I only know this because how this happened, because my stepmom at the time actually told me. So we were sort of leaving the park and she said she could see me like looking at them, and every time I went past her I was looking at them. She could tell I really wanted one. Obviously been playing with my sister's Minnie Mouse plush all week, so she said we just had to get you one because we just couldn't see you leave that park without you having one. I didn't get a Minnie Mouse one, I got a Mickey Mouse one.
Nice.
And I was over the moon, and on the aeroplane flying home I was puppeteering it over the chairs to other guests on the aeroplane and everything, and that to me is a massive like memory because I've still got that teddy, and you know what, it's still like brand new. And it's huge, like honestly it's like higher than my waist. It's really tall when it stood up. My sister's on the other hand, because when we got home, like I said to you, I think she saw it more as like a baby doll. She would take its clothes off, redress it, and it's gone quite raggedy and floppy, whereas mine's like brand new. Mine is like brand new, antique, Walt Disney World memorabilia. But I have got my sister's, because I remember when my mum moved out of the house and we were getting rid of some stuff, I said, right, I'll take the mini one as well. So I have got it.
Yeah, you could restore it maybe somehow, or
one day maybe. I don't know. The Mickey one, I should get it out really and have it in the
display
office.
It.
But yeah, that's probably. I've got, like I say, I've got tons, but that's probably one of my, like, I think that when I think of Disney World especially, that's one of my earliest memories.
I mean, we're both very we love the merch, we love all that sort of stuff. I mean, there's some amazing things, but it's just triggered another memory in my, like, I remember seeing a Maleficent costume to buy in the shop. That's probably when I was very, very I think it was like when I was 3 or 4, and I was obsessed with the shop that had this, it could have been even like a display of the Maleficent, but it was like a woman's costume. I was obsessed with it, and that, I mean, you see, it starts back then.
Kids these days don't realise how lucky they are with the costumes and stuff, because that's one thing that when we were younger that I would have absolutely loved, because I loved dressing up and everything growing up, and there were so many costumes for girls and things, and I would have absolutely loved a Jafar outfit, a Captain Hook outfit. You can get these now for kids. Back when I was a kid, you couldn't get them. It was all like girly. They weren't necessarily like the Disney princesses as such, because the Disney princess franchise didn't come out until sort of the early 2000s, but there was outfits for the girls to buy,
Minnie and stuff on
and there wasn't necessarily anything for the boys. But that's another thing, because I remember that trip specifically, we looked everywhere for a Jafar outfit. I never did them.
I know. Oh well, I have to make up for it now.
I should get I don't have a Jafar, but I should get one for Mickey's
Not so scary
Halloween party.
Okay, so I don't know whether you've covered this already, but also what about a memory that still makes you laugh every time you think of it?
I mean, all the memories make me laugh. Oh gosh. That's a really difficult question to answer, because every time you go, nearly every moment is full of laughter.
Or crying in my case. Happy tears.
Crying, happy tears. I think this one always sticks out to me, and this one's quite recent. So like I said,
I think I know what you're going to say, you know.
Really?
Is it the Evil Queen?
No, it's not actually.
I was thinking of when you met the evil queen.
Oh yeah,
that was iconic though. Maybe not funny.
That was iconic.
Yeah,
that's
sorry,
not the one I'm thinking of, and I might not tell this very well. But basically, it was back in 2012, and I was there with my mum, my sister, my nephew. I think he was like 3 at the time or 2, and the rest of the family. And we were in Magic Kingdom, and we was at the Monsters Inc. laugh floor.
Oh yeah.
And they pick on people in the audience, don't they?
Yeah.
And I'll never
I don't
forget,
go in there.
well, I'll never forget, my mum and my sister had their bags round like this.
Right.
Like, you know, round the shoulder, one side to the other. And the lights went on them, and the monster said, "Wow, it must be a really dangerous area over there." And my mum and my sister were like, well, why? It was like, "Well, you both got your seatbelts on." And it was just little bag straps, and we were absolutely howling because we didn't have a clue what they were going to say. But like I said, every single day in the Disney parks is just hilarious. But the Evil Queen moment that you were mentioning was iconic, but I'll talk about that in another episode.
we could do like that's obviously to do with the dining experience. So we could definitely delve into like the character dining, do a dining experience episodes as well. Yeah, just throwing it. Yeah, throwing it out there.
I've got loads. I want to say like every day is a laugh when you're there, and you know, some days you can get when it's a bit hot wherever you are. You know, you just need to sit down for 10 minutes, remember where you are, and love the memory. Remember you're making memories.
That's it, absolutely. Okay, so let's go into a little bit of the planning and anticipation. So when you're going on a Disney or Universal trip, are you a meticulous planner with spreadsheets, or do you like to leave things a bit flexible?
So I do not let anybody else plan anything. I'll be honest with you, my family, when we go, they're quite happy to just let me lead the way, because they know I know the parks like the back of my hand. They know how I can work my way around the parks, you know, benefit early hours in the parks and things like that. I do a spreadsheet, but I'm normally very last minute with it, and it's normally like when it's coming up to my 60 days. Normally I realise, I'm coming up to my 60 days, I need to get this spreadsheet sorted. More so when they put tickets on sale for events like, you know, Halloween Horror Nights or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
But things can change though.
Yeah.
Like I recently thought I was going to do Horror Nights on one night, and they actually didn't have a night on that night, so it changed everything. Or you're dining, you might not get that dining slot you want, so then you go, it's worth doing it maybe till you're sick. Do a little brief one, but then
I like to plan it more around like events and like signature dining experiences. So for example, like this year I have got pretty much everything planned around Halloween Horror Nights. I'm doing the last night of that on Halloween, the Christmas party, Jollywood Nights. I've booked the experience at Geo 82. So everything's basically based around all of that. And this year we're not doing dining reservations at table service, apart from Space 220 and the Beacon Barrel. But everything else we're not doing. We're just doing the quick service dining plan, because last year we did meticulously plan everything around our dining, and I felt like I spent more time in restaurants last year than we did in the parks, which I love because I'm a Disney foodie, and I'm not necessarily someone who will walk around and go on every single attraction every day. I like to sometimes just people watch, but I am a planner. But I will be honest, 9 times out of 10, after 5 days, unless there's an event we've got to go to, my plans go out the window. So I don't even know why I obsess over my planning, because 5 days in, providing I know I've not got this restaurant or Halloween Horror Nights or whatever's going on, my plan goes out the window. It really does.
You get to a point, you go, actually, should we change it up a little bit, or should we break it? You can't, let's say, keep a little bit of, and this is coming from me, who is like planner as well, but keep a little bit of that winging it time as well.
And the thing is for me as well, like I can't do rope drop till close. I can't do it anymore. So I will, the first few days in there, and you're obviously up early, especially in Florida, I will get up early, I'll rope drop, I'll leave maybe about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, have a few hours, then go back. But if I'm in Florida, this is mainly Florida, as the day goes on, as the weeks go on whilst we're away, I find that my days in the parks get less and less and less. Because I'm getting tireder, so I want to relax a little bit more. I understand, you know, some people can do rope drop all day. I mean, the longest I did was a couple of years ago. I did on Christmas Eve, I think it was. It was really close to Christmas. It might have been Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. I did rope drop until park close, and it was Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party as well. And I cannot believe I did it.
No.
I think I'd walked something like 37,000 steps that day. I did it all while wearing an Aladdin Christmas jumper. I did all the character meet and greets. But that was a record day for me in the park. I can't remember if it was Christmas Eve or the day before, but it's definitely round about then. But yeah, I'm going off tangent now. I can't remember what the question was.
About how you plan,
I am a planner, but usually not, no way a year in advance. I'm not a planner a year in advance. It's literally normally up to about 60 days before, or when event tickets go on sale, then I start planning. If, for example, though, I've booked my holiday and events don't fit in with my itinerary, so say like, I don't know, I've got a Disney cruise, then I've got Disney World stay, then going over to Universal and then back somewhere else. If events don't fit in with my plans for that, I will rejig my holiday about. And I know that sometimes come at a cost because the hotels might not have availability, you've got to change this, that and the other. But sometimes you've just got to do it if you want to do these events and get it packed in there. So as soon as events go on sale and experiences, that's when I...
You're making me laugh.
No, why? Doesn't matter. Sorry. I was being really giggly. So as soon as the experiences go on sale and coming at 6 days, that's when I get it done. And like I say, 5 days in, it's gone out the window.
Yeah. Same. But working in travel though, has that changed the way you plan or anything? I mean, again, you like to say sometimes you can change around the dates you stay in, or
not necessarily, because the way that I would look after my own holidays, the way that we would look after our customers. You know, if the customer wants to chop and change their holiday, then you know they can do that. But the same thing as like what I have to do. If it comes at a cost, that means you've got to change hotel because it's not available. The room type to change your stay. It's exactly the same. So it hasn't changed. Working in travel hasn't changed the way I look at my own holidays.
No.
I think the only way that it has changed the way I see me on holidays is that because we look at holidays every day, if I see a bargain that someone's looking at and they don't book it, I might swipe it and take it for myself. That's the only thing.
And going on the holidays now, we like to look at like you'll do those events and things that may be new or at a little bit of an extra cost through, you know, because you want to give. If a customer rings up and goes, "What's a special occasion I can do as a date night?" or "What's a special occasion I can do with my family?" You've experienced it then, so you that's why you like to do. So you're looking through like what can we advise our customers when we're there?
I will admit my holiday, being in the travel industry, not the whole booking process, but my actual holiday when I'm there, doesn't. This is really where it gets a bit like blurred lines. Like I am enjoying myself, but it doesn't feel like a holiday. But I'm enjoying myself. I feel like I'm working. It's a bit strange.
Well, you're going on the holiday of the product you sell. You're holidaying in the product, which is a bit of a blurred line.
I love the product. You know, I probably look at things differently to what a normal guest would. In the parks, I'll notice things that are different that a guest might not necessarily notice, and that's the one thing that is different when you're working in the travel industry. You do look at things differently. Like I'll think, I need to tell a customer this, or I need to relay this information back to the team. And I think as well, because you know, we advertise as being specialists, and in these destinations, it's really important that we stay on top of the product knowledge as well, because it changes all the time. You know, you've got to be on the ball with it, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing that the travel industry's changed about my Disney destination and Universal holidays is I do not look at it, and I know I don't, the same way as a guest does. It's like even when I go with my family, I feel like I'm their tour guide. But I enjoy that.
I felt like that before I worked for FFI. I was like, that was always what I took on that role. Probably you did as well. But even a recent trip I've been on, I googled something, it gave me the wrong information, and when I actually asked a cast member in person, it was a different thing. But again, it's always check on the newest. Things change all the time, and obviously we try and keep up with the newest and the latest information as much as we can.
And that's why I think it's important, like, not only going on our own trips there, you know, keeping up to date is the best way to keep up to date with things, you know.
And I feel so ready to like help people put the holidays together, even more so when I get back as well from a trip, because you kind of, it's fresh in your mind and it's exciting.
It's like when I come back from trips, I always write a report for everybody and tell them what's up to date, team session, relay the information, because, you know, we need to be sharing this information to pass on to other guests as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, so now going into favourite parks and attractions. So if you had to pick, which Disney park is your favourite and why?
Right, I've been to all
You have
6.
been to all of them.
And most recently just come back from Shanghai, and I'm going to be honest with you, it blew me away.
And you weren't sure, were you, when
I weren't sure. The reason I weren't sure is because I did so much research into it, and YouTube videos and blogs and things, and there's so much bad stuff about it.
Mixed information
on Shanghai Disneyland, and it was not the experience that I anticipated it to be. It was a million times better, and I'm kind of glad that my research made me feel that way, because I can't tell you how amazed we was on the first day. But saying about my favourite parks, I've been to all 6. I love them all, different destinations for the different reasons, all 6. But if I have to pick one, and this is really difficult, and it's between Hong Kong Disneyland and Shanghai, I'm going to pick Hong Kong.
Yeah. You've loved that, and you went back to there very quickly, didn't you?
I went back there very quickly after my first visit. It was my first like Asian park that I went to. I fell in love with it. It was the first one I've been to, other than like America and Paris, and I just couldn't believe how different it was, but so familiar. I mean, the park's built around Feng Shui. Main Street felt different but the same, and the castle, it's called the Castle of Magical Dreams in Hong Kong Disneyland, to me, out of all of them, is the most beautiful.
Beautiful setting, isn't it? Like the mountains behind it.
It's on Lantau Island, so it's only 20 minutes from the airport. It's got natural mountains behind it. It's got the original world of Frozen behind Fantasyland, and you can actually see when you come into the park, you can actually see that in the mountains Elsa's castle. It just blew me away, and I think another thing with it as well, out of all the different Disney parks I've been to, all of them, I'm talking secondary parks as well, it's the quietest one I've been to, so it felt very exclusive, and I hope it stays like that for a long time. The attractions there as well, I just loved it, and the fireworks, momentous for me, was just... It's just the best fireworks show I've ever seen, and the story of it all. I'll talk more about this in another episode, but I'm going to pick...
And it's quite... Obviously, we sell that holiday as well, which has become a new product we could sell in recent years, hasn't it? And it's not too bad, really. And you get the Disney... There's 3 Disney resorts. It's really good value.
The hotels as well.
It is a bit of a journey, so I know that can kind of put people off. But
it is a journey. But, you know, if you love Disney, it will keep you on that flight. I mean, we flew, the first time we went, we did economy both ways with Cathay Pacific. Absolutely brilliant. I had no problems at all. I loved the food on Cathay Pacific. The second time we went, we did premium and business, and that was equally as impressive. You can get some really good rates if you book in advance as well. The Hong Kong Disneyland for like premium and business
And the
class.
hotels are official Disney.
The hotels are official Disney hotels. There's 3 of them. There's the Hollywood Hotel, the Explorers Lodge, and the Disneyland Hotel. Out the 3, Explorers Lodge is probably my favourite because it's a cross between Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom. But I don't want to talk about it too much though, because I want to do another episode.
I know. And there'll be probably like questions in here as well.
I'm going to pick Hong Kong Disneyland as my favourite.
Okay.
Favourite castle park.
Castle park.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stick with that one for now. And also, let's switch it a little bit. Universal. Favourite attraction? Their experience.
You didn't do my favourite attraction for Disney.
I don't think that was in the question.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was.
No, favourite Disney park. Which Disney park is your favourite and why?
Oh, right, okay then. No worries. Well,
there might be.
There might be another day.
Are there any other attractions you never skip? no matter how many times you've been. That's what you put at the end there.
We'll do that one in a minute then.
Okay. All right, should we start again at Universal? Do you want me to answer that question again? Or?
Oh, we'll just carry on.
Okay.
So, Universal. Well, I went to Epic Universe on a preview trip back in April. And I've got to say, I think Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, is probably my favourite attraction at Universal Orlando Resort.
I'm so glad I can talk to you about it now, because I've just come back from there. Yeah.
But I loved it. It blew me, and I've always loved the Universal monsters. And to be honest with you, I've always been interested in monsters. Even when I was a kid, you know, when you were watching TV programs like He-Man and She-Ra, I was more interested in Skeletor and Hordak than I was He-Man and She-Ra. But the villains as well. Like, I love the villains. So you know, Monsters Unchained is absolutely fantastic, and I love the area. I can't wait to go back later on this year and actually eat in the is it Silver's
Das Steakhouse.
Das Steakhouse, and have a drink in the
I couldn't believe that was
Burning Blade Tavern.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe as well Das Steakhouse was a quick service. The level. Did you see my video with the?
Yeah.
I say follow us online. But the bats on the back of the. It's like, this is a quick service restaurant. It felt like literally put you in that movie, in that scene. And they say the team members in the Burning Blade were amazing. And it was really immersive.
I must admit though, when I went to Universal Studios in Hollywood, I've really enjoyed the. What's it called? There's a film about pets.
Secret Life of Pets.
Secret Life of Pets. And there's a Secret Life of Pets attraction. And I wasn't that fussed for going on it, but once I've been on it, I absolutely loved it. It was adorable. It was like you were turned into a dog and then you had to get adopted.
I've not been on that one, but I've seen videos. It looks really cute.
It was so cute. I loved that. So I'd probably say, I know everyone always picks the roller coasters and things at Universal or Harry Potter or whatever, but for me, I would say probably those two are my favourite Universal
And don't sleep, if you do a trip to California, I've seen a lot of people go to just Disney, but don't sleep on Universal there as well. It's really cool.
It is really cool.
You know, it's the studio tour. It's very unique. It's very different to the ones in Orlando. So I'd always try and add a little day in there as well, if you can. Or two, definitely. Okay, and then attractions then, probably sticking with Disney maybe. Which one would you never skip, no matter how many times you go? You have to do it. You have to do it multiple times.
Well, the thing is that my favourite Disney attraction isn't in all the parks.
I know. I'm not trying to guess which one. We should do like a guessing game.
Well, my favourite, I've got loads of favourites for different reasons.
Does it begin with M?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I know which one it is.
My favourite Disney attraction is only in one park, and it's called Mystic Manor.
Know it.
And it's in Hong Kong Disneyland, and I absolutely love it. It's their version of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Because the Chinese culture, they have a different feeling and the way that they think about life after death and everything. So it's more about, it's part of the Society of Explorers storyline that Disney do in the parks. And he is called, I can't remember the guy's name, but I know the name of the monkey. The icon for it is called Albert. And it's basically a manor where this explorer brings all these trinkets from all these different travels, and he's got this magic music box, and Albert opens it. It's a cheeky little monkey, and it makes the whole manor come to life. And I've got goose pimples now talking about it. Honestly, the soundtrack and everything is just incredible.
Have to go on it.
Like, I remember the first time we went, and I remember messaging you because the shop after they had no Mystic Manor merchandise, and I remember when I went back again, they did. I bought it all.
And he very kindly brought me back a lot of stuff as well.
I did.
I've never even been on the ride, but I will obviously absolutely love it. Wasn't it boarded up the first time you went as well?
The first time I went, it was under refurbishment.
The refurbishment in the front,
so
and then
we had photo shoot central when I went back the second time.
It's an amazing, it's one of the key, like the main attractions that stands out at Hong Kong Disneyland, definitely.
I mean, this is why I like the Asian parks as well, because they've all got attractions you're not going to find anywhere else. If I was to pick, like in the USA parks and Paris, the familiar rides, that's always a go-to. I'll probably have to say, like you, Haunted Mansion. or Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris. I must admit, Phantom Manor is my favourite out of them three. Well, 4, because there's one in Tokyo as well. Actually, the one in Tokyo is the original Walt Disney World version before it was updated.
Yes, it's scarier, isn't it?
Scary.
Yeah.
So when I went on the one in Tokyo, I did jump a few times, but I am going to say that Phantom Manor is probably...
We'll delve into that maybe on another episode we've got planned.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's go on to, again, one of our favourite subjects, food and dining.
Yeah.
So go-to snack or meal in the parks?
So my go-to snack is probably, I've already spoke about zebra domes. I really like them. My go-to snack, I'm not really a snacky person, so like if I've got a dining plan, I'll use it on a Starbucks. So I'm not really a snacky person.
Which is a good thing. I mean, some people might not know, you can get like the large, if you like a Starbucks, if you like a coffee, you can get the biggest one on the snack credit. So utilise that. That's pound for pound, the money's worth, and get that if you're a Starbucks
Definitely. So I'm not really a big eater. So, but if I am going to have a snack, it will probably be something like, I like the themed ice lollies, like the Mickey Premium bars. I love the ice cream sandwiches, the Mickey shaped ones, and I do like Mickey waffles, but it's not a snack. That's more like a quick service credit for breakfast.
Mickey pretzel?
I don't like pretzels, no. And I'm not a big lover of the churros.
Okay.
So, but I do like Dole Whips. I like them with rum. But yeah, I'm not a big snack guy, to be fair, but that's probably what I'll go for. Mostly all my snack credits go on Starbucks, to be honest. But restaurant-wise, is it a go-to restaurant I have to? Or?
We've also got the dining experience, so you can either do a meal in the park, or is there a dining experience that one's more it's underrated but deserves more love. So have you got
underrated but deserves more love? So if I was to pick a restaurant, and I'm going to pick one that parks that are probably more familiar, I'm going to say Waltz at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Now, I absolutely love that restaurant. I love that you can sit and you can overlook Main Street USA. You book it for the right time, you can watch the parade, especially at Christmas time, with the Christmas time parade all lit up and the snow coming down. Absolutely love it, and I love the menu in there as well. And I know that, like, you know, at Disneyland Paris, not everybody is fond of some of the things on the menus, but for me, it just works. I love everything on the menu.
You give it a try. I liked some elements of it. But I probably would dine there again, just for the experience.
It's not for everybody, but they do change the menu up as well. Like, once we went at Christmas, and in Paris, they celebrate Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day.
Right.
So your Christmas Day menus are on Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day.
That's good to know.
So the menu on Christmas Eve was different to what it normally was, and that was still absolutely fantastic. So whilst it's not for everybody, I would probably say out of all the parks that people are probably more familiar with, because a lot of people don't even know it's there.
Yeah, because it blends into Main Street, which is unique. There's not really another restaurant like that you can sit upstairs, is there?
No, there's not in any of the Disney parks, I don't think.
And they have an exclusive pin.
Oh,
that you can get.
Well, I might have to get that when I go next.
Yeah.
But
you can only get it if you dine there, so it's very exclusive.
Well, I didn't even know. Do you have to buy it, or is it free?
To buy it, yeah.
Oh, right.
About €30.
Well,
but
you know,
did I buy it?
It's iconic.
Yes.
Is it Walt's head from the statue inside?
No, it's the sign. So there's 3 different colours. Well, there is at the moment, and it just says Walt's, an American restaurant.
Oh, right, okay.
But there's been different ones over the year, but yeah.
Well, that's going to be my underrated and underappreciated Disney restaurant.
Yeah, and it's a lovely tribute to Walt as well, if you're a Disney fan.
It's beautiful inside.
Okay.
And the piano and everything.
Yeah, lovely. It's just like a museum again. It's beautiful. Okay, let's look into resorts and accommodation then. So where have you stayed across Disney and Universal, and which one is your all-time favourite? We'll start with Disney.
Right, so do you want all the Disney destinations across the world?
Yeah.
I'll run through them quickly. I'm not going to talk about them because we are going to do an episode on resort hotels.
Yeah.
So in Disneyland in California, I have stayed at Pixar Place. In Walt Disney World, I have stayed at All Stars, Pop Century, Art of Animation. I have stayed in the Moderates, Coronado Springs Tower, my favourite. I have never stayed at Port Orleans. Caribbean Beach, I've stayed at Yacht Club, I've stayed at Boardwalk, Grand Floridian, Wilderness Lodge, and that is it. I've not stayed at any of the others. I have preferences in each category there, but we'll do that in another episode. And then moving on to Paris, I've stayed at all of them in Paris. So that's Santa Fe, Cheyenne, Sequoia Lodge, Newport Bay, Art of Marvel and Disneyland Hotel. Tokyo, I have stayed at the Fantasy Springs Hotel, the Disneyland Hotel and the Toy Story Hotel. Shanghai, I have stayed at the Toy Story Hotel and the Disneyland Hotel, and in Hong Kong, I have stayed at the Explorers Lodge and Disneyland Hotel. I haven't done the Hollywood Hotel.
I thought you did that one.
I've been in it.
Yeah.
I've been in it, and I've had drinks in the Marvel Bar and everything in it. I think it's called Income Plate. It's called the restaurant. Had dinner in there and things, but I've never stayed there. But yeah. So yeah, and then Universal, I've stayed at all of the Universal hotels. The ones that are the older ones. I've stayed at Cabana Bay and La Summer Resort, Ventura, Sapphire Falls, Royal Pacific Resort,
Hard
Rock, and Portofino. I have recently just come back from a trip in April where we stayed at the Stella Nova Resort. Haven't stayed at Terra Luna, but that's where you stayed, didn't
I said it's Stella Nova.
Oh, did you say the same one as me?
Yeah.
So
well, the twins, aren't they? They're literally the same. Yeah.
But I'm staying at the Helios in November, and I have stayed. That's all the ones I've stayed at.
Any particular favourite?
Have I forgot anywhere?
No, I think that's everything. Any particular favourites at Universal?
At Universal, I would probably say my favourite one is the Hard Rock.
Okay.
So far, that's normally the one that we go to.
Yeah.
I like the club level. Again, because I'm not at a park opening until close, I'll go back in the afternoon. I love the swimming pool.
Yeah.
At the Hard Rock, they've got a little beach bar food place there called the Beach Club. Okay. And they do the most amazing tapas spread, which is amazing.
So if if you were the family members that might not want park all day, they could stay at the hotel, do that.
Yeah.
Or if you're a person who wants to have more of a hotel time.
Yeah, and I like how close it is to the parks. You can walk, well, not to Epic Universal Volcano Bay, but for the Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, you can walk.
I think people think it is expensive, the tickets, to go there and stuff, and so they think they have to get their money's worth of being in the parks all day. But you'll hit a brick wall. Out. Yeah, you have to enjoy those resorts as well, because you're paying for them as well. Enjoy the facilities, get an express, and you'll find even if you have got. Work it out on the 2 weeks. You will have time. So even if you go in and do 2 rides and a show, and then break away, it's just
and then go back in the evening.
Yeah, or if you're hardcore, do the full day. Yeah, we're not. We want to go by the pool. And do you prefer staying in the Magic on site or exploring anything off site?
I always on site.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I stayed off site. For me, I feel like, although it's something I do for a living, working with these companies and things, for me, when you're overseas and you're there, immersing yourself in it all is the best way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. There's less travelling. You've got more time enjoying it all rather than spending time travelling about.
It might be a bit more expensive, but it's time. It's that you'll find it's just
At the end of the day, whilst it does cost more, the best way to look at it is if you're doing it once, twice a year, or once every couple of years, or whatever, however you're doing it. The best way to think of it is you can never get your time back.
Yeah.
So just maximise your time while you're there.
Yeah, and you get the benefits, the early entries, the free shuttles, the transportation, the service. Yeah.
I just feel like everyone's generally happier when you're on site as well. It makes me happy to wake up every day and be like, this is going to be a great day. Yeah,
and a lot of time you'll see the same faces, maybe the cast members or something that say hello and everything like that. It really, you feel it does. Disney, when you get to a hotel, they'll say welcome home, and it really does feel like that.
It really does.
Okay, so travel tips then.
Yes.
If you could only give one tip to someone planning their first Disney or Universal holiday, what would it be?
Don't listen to anybody online. That would be my first thing. Yeah. There's so many websites and groups and things where they're saying you need to stay here, you need to do that, because that's what they've experienced. And everybody's unique and everyone is their own person and they need their own unique experience. So speaking to a specialist who's not necessarily telling you to stay at a certain place, but like us, it's a little bit of a sales pitch, I'm sorry, but it's true, it's how it works. we're not just going to say you need to stay here, this is what you need to do. We will listen to what it is that you want from your holiday, what your needs are, and find the best place for you, your budget, what you want to do, where you want to be. That's the best way, because I've seen so many people online when someone said, and they've called up and they've said, oh, so-and-so online has said I need to stay here. And then they've ended up booking, say, a Polynesian village, which is worlds away from what someone online was telling them to do. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if that customer's needs and wants is Polynesian village and they'd have booked this other place, they'd have been majorly disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would try and stay away from listening to other people telling you how to do your holiday, more so if it's your first time, because like we were talking about planning, I think when it's your first time, I think unless you've got a Disney dining plan where you need to book your restaurants and things and you need to know where you need to be every day, apart from forgetting like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween and Very Merry Christmas Party and Halloween Horror Nights, forgetting the event tickets, just live each day as you want to do it. Wake up and say, right, today we're going to go to Magic Kingdom. Because I think that when it's your first visit, if you do it more spontaneously, you're going to have a much better experience, and you'll be learning while you're doing it, so that once it comes to doing it again, that's when your planning will start coming in, like, right, I really liked this, we're going to plan this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. Your first time, I think people need to go more with an open mind, and in a way I feel like the internet has changed that sort of first experience. Because when we went for the first time, there was no one online doing spoilers or showing things and kind of ruining your first experience.
My parents had a travel book, one single book that had 3 parks in it. It had tiny paragraphs of like how to like maximize your time in the park. It was a one book, and it had like a few pages on it, and they circled those little bits. That's all they had to go off. And think of all of the things we've got today online to look at, and people saying their opinions on this and this and this, which sometimes is good. Like that's fair enough.
If you need some help and assistance with something quite serious, then fair enough. But if it's your first visit and you stay away from vlogs and stay away from this, because honestly, seeing things with your own eyes in person is completely different to reading what someone's telling you or listening to what someone's telling you or looking at YouTube videos and things. And I remember when I first went, my dad, he had actually been the year before. He says to test it out without us. How dare he?
Rude.
But then he took us the year after, and he kind of knew his bearings and what we'd like and things. Because it is an expensive holiday as well, and I think my dad just wanted to go check it out and see is it worth the money to take us, really. So. And we had the most amazing time. Absolutely loved it. Holiday of a lifetime, and every holiday we've had for Disney ever since we started going has always been amazing. But seeing things with your own eyes for the first time, you can't beat it.
No.
And I think my best top tip is, if it's your first time, try and stay clear of other people telling you how to do your holiday, where you should stay, what you should do, and obviously spoilers on YouTube. I know you tried really hard with Epic University to not watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm the worst for that though. I do watch a lot of POVs and stuff, and but a lot of I kind of did avoid most of Epic, like the rides anyway, because it isn't this. Once you're on them, it is different. But I am guilty for that for sure. I don't know why. I just love it. I love watching. I remember watching like Hagrid's POV before I'd even gone the ride, and it made me cry. So I was like, but the ride though was even more. It's fine with me, but yeah.
Well, I mentioned earlier about my sister was my crash test dummy for attractions. Now when a new attraction comes out, because obviously I'm familiar with the parks and things, I'm quite happy to spoil the attractions for myself, because I need that crash dummy test. And the YouTube videos for me are those crash dummy tests. So I can see, like, when Velocicoaster came out, I watched a POV of that first, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone on it. Because when I saw the size of it, I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, it looks bigger than it does on the YouTube. But because I've watched the YouTube video, it doesn't look too bad. So it
does have its benefits, because some people might be a bit like, I'm not sure about going on rides and everything. So yeah, if you're that type of person. But yeah, but I have customers all the time go, oh, so this person said to do this and this and this and this, and they go, well, do you like that? I mean, it is about an hour away from where you are. Well, not, I don't. But look, you've got so much to do. You won't fit just the Universal and Disney. You won't fit everything in 2 weeks. So, but obviously, if you if you really want to go like Kennedy Space Centre's somewhere where you do book quite a lot and stuff,
You're right.
and that is a very unique place, and people, it's been a tourist attraction in Orlando, in that area for years, hasn't it? So some people would go there, and that's fair enough. But
I am a firm believer though that going with open eyes for your first visit as well, it means that you know when you leave there are going to be things that you haven't done.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that once you've been once, it ain't going to be the last time. So there's always something to go back for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I think going with open eyes.
I say again, look, think of your characters. You might have your children might love Star Wars or Marvel. If they do, then pick out the things that so you really tick off like your favourite characters. Probably for us when we first went, it was seeing Little Mermaid show in MGM Studios or something. Pick out your characters first, then start with the parks, then start with that. But yeah, don't go in with a little bit of flexible time.
I think that's why Hong Kong's really special to me, because out of the Asian parks, it's the only one where I didn't do a lot of research before I went. Yeah. So I was experiencing everything with brand new eyes. I have a very brief sort of knowledge of it, but I experienced that without Tokyo and Shanghai needed a lot more research just because of it's so different. But Hong Kong was so that's basically my top travel tip.
Okay. So now we're coming on to the part where we're going to ask the ever after question. So we're going to do this every week for every guest, or if we're talking about it between ourselves. So if you could design your dream Disney or Universal day from start to finish, what would it look like?
Right, so I'm actually going to say something that I'm longing to do. And whilst I've already been to 2 of these places, my dream next trip would to be incorporate this, and it would be going over to California, doing Disneyland. I've got another trip booked, but it's not this dream trip that I want to do. Going over to California to Disneyland, doing Hollywood, Universal Studios Hollywood again, and then doing a cruise of some sort from around the area with Disney Cruise Line to Hawaii, and then staying at Alani. That would be my ultimate dream, because I haven't done Alani.
That's like the dream
desperate
destination.
to get to Alani. I'm so desperate.
Okay, so we're getting to the final question, and then we'll go into like the quick fire round. So what has been the most rewarding part of building Ever After Holidays then?
So I think, I mean, all of it's rewarding, but I think listening to customers' feedback and their experiences, and for me personally as well, a lot of customers have been on the journey with me, so I can be in Disney World, Disneyland Paris on a Disney Cruise Line, and customers will recognise me. And just as an example, I've just come off the Disney Fantasy, and there was a customer on there who spent a good 45 minutes chatting to me at the bar, just saying, you know, thank you for everything that you and your team have done during COVID and everything. Just nice comments like that as well, you know. Not just
personable comments, isn't it? It's,
like to hear like the thank yous, and customers saying they're so happy, the founders, and so not just hearing about the customers' feedback, they've had a great time, but something I can pass on back to the team as well, like reading comments on Facebook and things that people talk about us and the team and everything. That's really rewarding. But I think from a standpoint of, we haven't won any awards yet. We have been up for awards, but we haven't won any yet, and I just think it's not our time. But one thing I'm really proud about, one award we was up for was in 2024 September. We were a finalist in a category, the Travel Industry Awards, for the Family Holidays Provider of the Year. So we were up against Club Med, Royal Caribbean, TUI, Santa's Lapland, so really big companies, well established. And to see our company name as a finalist in that category against those companies, I think is a testament not just to obviously myself, but the team, to show that all of us collectively are creating this magic. And it's nice to think that we can be recognised in such a category against established companies. So those are probably the things that for me stand out really.
Just the start as well. There's lots more to come. Okay, so we're going to do the quick fire. Let me get me iPad ready.
So this or that.
Yeah, this or that. No thinking. No,
right, go on then.
2 seconds to answer. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Mickey ice cream bar or Dole Whip?
Dole Whip.
Magic.
With rum.
Yeah. Magic Kingdom fireworks or Epcot fireworks?
Magic Kingdom.
Peter Pan's Flight or It's a Small World?
Peter Pan's Flight.
Space Mountain or Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind?
Peter Pan's... Oh, sorry. What was it? No, I'm on the last question. What was it?
So it was Space Mountain or Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm going to say Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. So meet and greet, princesses or villains?
Villains.
Halloween at Disney or Christmas at Disney?
It's really difficult. Christmas.
Yeah. Epcot Festival, food and wine or flower and garden?
Food and wine.
Are you staying on site or are you staying off site?
I've already said on site.
Walt Disney World or Disneyland Paris?
Walt Disney World.
And Lightning Lane or Rope Drop?
Rope Drop.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So
that's the true. With these quick fire, it's the true.
It's
the truth.
It just comes out. It's got to come out.
Yeah. No thinking about it.
But that concludes this episode. Yeah. Very long. I like to babble. I've got a lot to say.
That's just the tip of the iceberg of what the knowledge and everything.
But yeah, we've got some really great episodes planned going up where we delve more into both of our experiences and things as well. But we thought it was important for the first episode to talk about Laura, talk about myself, just so you get to know a little bit more about us if you're not familiar with us. And what we do ever after holidays, etc. So I hope that's really shone through.
Yeah, I mean, we're new to this, so we are. We're just
podcast.
Yeah, we're very excited, and we hope you can come on this journey with us. Yeah, and let's build it together. Let's just chat, comment, like, obviously subscribe, share.
Exactly.
That's how we love to talk Disney. We are here,
and we do it every day.
Yeah.
And next week on next week's podcast, we've got some very special guests of mine. So make sure you tune in next week. Thank you for joining us on the Ever After cast.
If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share the magic. For more Disney and Universal travel inspiration, visit everafterholidays.com or follow us on social media.
You can follow myself, Mattie, on Instagram at Mattie Happily Ever After.
And you can follow me, Laura, at Kind of Magic Laura.
If you want to find daily holiday offers and more, you can also visit facebook.com/everafterholidays or follow our Instagram at eafterholidays.
If you'd like to be a guest on a future episode or you have any questions you'd like us to answer, please email info@everafterholidays.com.
See you real soon. I don't know if that means